Automakers have sent a message to Washington, D.C. Get out of the way, because major automakers are saying that freedom is under threat. And I've been talking about this for decades, and not from overseas competitors, but from its own federal government. The word on the street is the federal government kind of controls the auto industry, and this is what we've been covering for decades. America was built on innovation, from the assembly line to muscle cars to the auto industry that has long symbolized American freedom, ingenuity, and progress is being squashed by Washington, D.C. At the center of the growing storm is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, known as NHTSA. It's currently run by Sean Duffy, but in the past, there have been a lot of administrators and directors that have done nothing more than push against car makers to make what they want you to drive. Again, we cover this on a regular basis. It's a little-known federal agency that's becoming a problem for companies trying to build the next generation of vehicles. From technology to cool-looking cars, we want to buy what we want, not what the government's telling us to buy. According to some of the country's biggest automakers, NHTSA's outdated and inflexible regulations are stifling innovation and holding back life-saving technologies. In other words, the bureaucracy is driving the car, and it's heading straight for a brick wall. And we're sick of it, and now they're pushing back. So why is all this happening? It's a system that was built for the past. The rules in question weren't written for modern vehicles of today. Many of NHTSA's regulations date back to the 70s and 80s, an era when cars were analog machines and not a computer on wheels. Yet those rules are still being used to govern vehicles that now use artificial intelligence, advanced sensors, over-the-air updates, and even some self-driving software, and we've covered that in the past. For years, automakers have been working within the system, but now they're speaking up, and quite loudly. They're calling on Washington to modernize or repeal the red tape that's blocking progress and delaying the rollout of technologies that you are asking for, that they have available, that could make cars smarter, safer, more efficient, and even less expensive. The real reason is common sense innovation is being blocked by red tape. And again, we cover this on a regular basis. And here's a glaring example. Adaptive headlights, which automatically adjust based on traffic and road conditions. These are common in Europe and proven to reduce nighttime crashes. We all complain about those bright lights coming at you. Well, that's been already cured in Europe, but the US says they're illegal. Until recently, because of the old rules, didn't even account for the technology. And that's just one example. Laser lighting and so many other things that you're seeing in Europe that we don't get here. Instead of side mirrors, they use cameras. There's dozens of similar systems, many designed to save lives, but they're caught in a regulatory limbo. This is not just frustrating manufacturers, it's frustrating consumers. It's not just about the headlights. It's software updates, driver assistance systems, and electric vehicle technologies are all tangled in layers of outdated laws. In some cases, companies are required to submit the same lengthy approval process for software tweaks as they would for a physical recall. And this is not just inefficient. It's absurd, it costs the companies money, and that affects jobs. It affects the bottom line for them, and then it affects the price of the car for you. Now, autonomous vehicles are something we've been talking about. There's still a lot to go through here, but a regulatory gridlock is stopping that. Then there's the issue, again, of total of autonomous cars where people like Tesla, Waymo, and Cruise, well, they're rolling it out. But nearly every major car manufacturer has poured billions into self-driving technology. We're not there yet, because really we're only at level 2, level 3 with Mercedes-Benz, and if you're talking about Super Cruise or Blue Cruise, that's still level 2. Yes, we can do level 5, no pedals, get into an amusement ride. But NHTSA has yet to establish a clear framework for autonomous vehicles, leaving companies to navigate a confusing patchwork of state regulations and federal silence. And of course, then you got insurance companies and you got hackers, and all of this could be done, but the federal government is getting in the way. What's the result? The US is falling behind. While other countries race forward with the real-world deployment of driverless fleets, American companies are stuck waiting for Washington to decide how, or even if, they're going to allow this to proceed. Worse yet, when NHTSA does act, it often does so with caution, bordering on a paralysis per se. And the agency seems more concerned with protecting itself from criticism than encouraging innovation. And that could actually reduce accidents and save lives. We're hoping that Sean Duffy hears this because there's been a lot of complaints. And although he's doing his job and he has a lot to untangle, and they've even reduced their staff by 25% of people who put these regulations into place, it's going to take time. So let's hope this happens. Regulations without representation is a big problem. And let's be honest, this isn't just about technology, it's about control. NHTSA isn't an elected body. It's an unelected bureaucracy with the power to shape the entire industry. And I know there are lobbyists from all these different car manufacturers trying to push, but if you're unelected, that money doesn't go into your next election campaign, so that sort of leaves it on lawmakers who can't do anything. And when that power goes unchecked, it undermines both the innovation and the public's trust. And the same government that pushes EV mandates, which this administration didn't, but the previous one did, and who knows what will happen in the future, they pick the technology winners and the losers, and now they're micromanaging the development of safety features and autonomous systems that some drivers actually want. Personally, I wouldn't ride in one, but I do need a cab every once in a while. It'd be nice to just get to my destination. But that's not how the free market is supposed to work. Americans deserve safe roads, but they also deserve choice, competition, and progress. And consumers are constantly left behind in this. All of this affects you more than you may realize. These regulatory delays mean American consumers are the last to get access to new safety technologies, the most limited in vehicle choice, and often pay more for outdated systems because innovation has stifled by design. They want more regulations. They want more heavier cars, but then they want lighter cars for better fuel economy. And much of this goes against itself. We talk a lot about freedom in this country. But what does it mean when the government regulators are dictating what technologies you can and can't have in your car and what you can buy with your own money? It's time to shift gears. Automakers aren't asking to cut corners. They're asking for a regulatory framework that reflects today's technologies, not yesterday's fears. And the fix isn't complicated. Modernize the rules, streamline the process, and let innovation flourish without government micromanagement. If Washington wants to lead on vehicle safety and innovation, it needs to start by listening to the people who actually build the cars, and to you, the customer, too, not the bureaucrats trying to reinvent the wheel. It's time for lawmakers to rein in NHTSA and bring American automotive policy into the 21st century. We can't afford to let our industry and our freedom be choked by rules written by a world that no longer exists. The road to the future is clear. The question is, will Washington get out of the way? If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.